Hi everybody, it's Kay the Reader, and I'm here with my January wrap up. So I'm going to share with you the books that I listened to on audio or that I read in January 2014. So let's start with the audiobooks. I listened to The Appeal by John Grisham, which, if you've read a John Grisham legal novel, then you pretty much get an idea of what type of book it was. I thought it was a good book though. I also listened to Ritual in Death and Thankful in Death, both by J.D.Robb, part of the In Death series. One thing I like about that series is that you don't necessarily have to read or listen to the books in sequential order because she gives you just enough information about the past so that you can relate that to the character's current situation. So I enjoy both of those books. Now, for the books that I read Little Bee by Chris Cleave because that was a book club selection. And I'll tell you the truth, I didn't fall in love with the book when I read it. I did like it, I liked the story. But after having my book club discussion on the book, I actually had a greater appreciation for the book, for the characters, for the story, how you discuss books with other people and just those little nuances they can bring out in a book that you didn't think of, give you insight into something, and you say, oh, wow, I didn't think of it that way. Well, that's kind of what happened with me and Little B. So I'm grateful for that discussion because it helped me to appreciate the book better than I did when I read it on my own. I also read Second Honeymoon by James Patterson, which, it is one of those books that's co authored by someone else. Some people have a problem with that. I really don't. It has James Patterson's name on the book. I know what to expect. You're going to have short chapters, a lot of characters, lots of suspense and drama, and it's going to be a quick read. So I really did enjoy Second Honeymoon. And finally, I read Perfect Peace by Daniel Black. There was so much hype around this book from a lot of people that I've spoken to, Facebook groups, some of my friends who had read the book. And so I had to see what all the hype was about. I read the book. I loved the book. It is a great dramatic novel. If you want one of those books that takes you there through all of the emotions, laughter, tears, anger, frustration, confusion, then this is the book for you. I guarantee you that after you read the book, you'll feel something. Have you ever read a book and when you finish, you feel nothing? Well, this is not that book. When you finish this book, you feel something. You may not be able to adequately describe what you feel, but you feel something when you feel this book. I'll read the synopsis to you. The heartbreaking portrait of a large, rural Southern family's attempt to grapple with their mother's desperate decision to make her newborn son into the daughter she will never have. Yes, that's what the book is about. Again, very good book. I suggest that if you do read it, try to read it with your friends or your book club because you can have great discussion on this particular book. Moving on to February, my book club chose Black Boy by Richard Wright, and this book is fantastic. It's a classic, and I'm not sure that I would have picked it up on my own had it not been a book club selection, and I don't know why I just never thought to read it, but I am loving this book. I have maybe 100 pages to go. I also heard that his book Native Son was very good, so sometime in the future I need to make time to read Native Son. But yes, Black Boy by Richard Wright is a tremendous read. And I'm also reading Valley of Amazement by Amy Tan. And I'm right at the very beginning of that book, so I can't really tell you much about what it's about. So I'll share that in my February wrap up. So that's it. You know what I read, you know what I'm reading. So if you want to share below if you've read any of these books and any comments that you may have on these books, please feel free to do so. And until next time, everybody, you know what to do. Keep reading.